Okay, so yesterday I was cleaning up the mating surface here and got it pretty good. There's little to no residue of the old gasket left under. And considering, this is a 1992 bike, and this is 2019, so you can still, it looks like there's still a little bit of gasket left here, but it's very, very smooth. You can't feel anything there, so it could be the tiniest little bit of gasket left there. Maybe the gasket filled in some little contours in the metal. Not sure, but anyway, even with a razor blade you can't scrape anything more off of those. And the other surface is fine. That's more where the metal gasket goes up by the head. I haven't tried to remove these pins. There's no need to. It's clean around them, so I'm not even going to attempt it. They got to be there anyway, so I'm leaving them there. I might do more damage trying to take them out than if I just left them there. So that's the thinking behind that. So I'm not even going to attempt it. Right now, what I got to try to do is get in here. This is very, very smooth. There's no, I can't feel any ridges or of any sort. But I need to hone it again now before I put it back together again, because it's also very smooth. Because it's so smooth, there has to be a tiny bit of grooving in there for the oil to stick and work properly, and for the compression rings to seat in. So I got a feeling that over time, this is, even with the limited use of this bike, these walls in here have glazed, what they call glazing. So I'm just going to hone them down a little bit right now, not much. I'm not going to do very much on them, just enough to give it a little, just to scratch the glazing off the walls before I put the new rings on the pistons. Because if you hone it too much, you'll take material. Anytime you hone, you're going to be taking material off this. Now the rings on the piston can compensate for a tiny bit, but not for a lot. So I'm just going to hone that down a little bit. And I like using, I have my drill set up there and just honing stones that I got from Princess Auto. So I'm going to use those. I'm going to put a bit of oil on them now, put them in there, and just hone for a little bit and get it done that way. So I just took an old oil bottle and cut the bottom off and put a little bit of light oil in here. A lot of people like using 3-in-1 or something else, and I'm just going to wet the stones down. And these stones will absorb this oil. You can see the oil actually absorbing into the stone. So I know some guys don't like using drills and stuff. They'd rather do it by hand or what have you. But I'm not going to be doing much on this one. The biggest thing is being consistent and just keeping it square and level in there. And that's just a 5W20 motor oil that I'm using. Some people like buying the actual cutting oil, for cutting stones and stuff like this. I just use this. I put it into the cylinder, and these stones are not long enough to go completely through. So you can see that there's a bit of space here on the end. So I'm just going to take my time, because if the stones come out too far, they tip. They'll actually won't stay flat against the wall if you come out too far. So you just want to protrude just past the end to get this ridge, and you don't want to go back past here either too much, because the stones will tip. So I don't go fast. you see, if I come out too far, you can see that the stones will want to wedge out. So I just take them back out. Clean up my cylinder. Just clean it up a bit. And I'm happy with that. I know this camera can't pick it up very well, but you can see it's almost like scratches, but they're like a cross hatch, almost like your hashtag sign type thing. And when I look down through here, especially if I find some light, I can actually see a little tiny bit of a cross hatch pattern in my sidewall, and the discoloration around here has just about gone, and this is very, very, very smooth now. I couldn't feel much there before anyway. This was still pretty good, but now I know the glazing is broke because I can see by the scratching, and but it's very smooth. You can see the scratches, but you can't feel it. So I'm happy with that. That's enough.